everybody, welcome to TeaCast episode number 28. I am your host, Pat Canella, and I'm doing a little late night TeaCast here. It's about 2 a.m. here in my house at home. I guess that doesn't really make much sense, but that's what I call it when I'm home from college. I call it home rather than my dorm room. But anyways, we're here to talk tea, aren't we? And I just want to welcome everybody back. It's been a while since I've done a real TeaCast, and I apologize for that. And I especially want to invite and welcome the ladies, I guess, and maybe some gentlemen from the site poshmama.com. Welcome, Posh Mamas. I hope you enjoy the show. And today we will be trying a white tea, and it is from Tropical Tea Company. I actually acquired this through a tea swap, and it's a really great thing actually if you're getting into tea and don't feel like buying a bunch of stuff at once in order to taste it. And this gives you a little surprise. You can pick what you want and pick what you like, and what or what you'd like to try, and people will try to send those to you every month. It's called the Co-op Tea Swap, and I will link it up on the bottom. But so I got the instructions. Tropical Tea Company. I was supposed to do this at 195 degrees at I believe for 4 minutes, and this is called Sowmee White, and I will put that down there as well. SOWMEE. And I've actually never had this before, and I was a bit surprised at what I taste. As you may or may not know, white teas are actually pretty subtle flavors when there's nothing added, when there's no fruit added or anything like that. So I steeped it with this. I just got this since I left all my steeping stuff at home. I had to go out and buy a little teapot, and it's pretty nice. It's got like a top and a little grate for the tea, which a lot don't really have, and I'm glad I found it. So teapot, classic kind of thing. Usually I use Ingenuity or the Zarafine tea maker, but anyways, back to this. It's Sowmee. Oh shoot, I spilled a little there. Nah, that's okay. Just tea, right? So I was a little surprised at this, like I said, and believe it or not, the smell of it when it was steeping actually was a lot better than how the tea tasted it, in reality. A lot of the times I always say, it doesn't make sense, but nevertheless, a lot of the time white tea, and I guess this is true with other teas, actually smell a lot better than they taste. And I think this would be one of the cases. When I first smelled this, it smelled very bizarre. It had kind of a hard wood smell to it, like if you go into a hardware store and you first smell the lumber. That's kind of what it smelled like. It was very interesting. The leaves smelled like that, and I was kind of intrigued by that. And also, that was before I steeped it. Now when I put it into here and I actually steeped it, and it was I kind of opened it to see, but I didn't want to let any heat out. It smelled oddly enough like corn on the cob on the grill, in the summertime, or anything else really from the grill. It had that grill smell to it, which was kind of interesting, but also kind of strange at the same time. It actually reminded me of, I went to this restaurant once, and they gave me, as a side, it was like fire corn, I believe it was called, and it had like onions and hot peppers in it, along with corn niblets, I guess. And I'm not a huge fan of onions, so needless to say, I didn't eat too much of that, but it was really spicy, and I think without the onions it would have been okay, but it really smelled like that, and I was surprised. So I let this cool down, because a lot of the time when you're drinking white tea, people tend to put it in for too long, and they don't taste it, or like boil the water for too long, and it'll be like boiling, and then they'll taste it, and they'll be like, well, there's not that much flavor to this at all. And a lot of the time I've noticed myself from experimenting that you need to let it cool down a lot in order for, not like lukewarm, but you need to cool down enough so you can properly taste it. And I I figured, yeah, you get a lot, like I said, you get a lot more flavor out of it if you just wait, and if you let it kind of do its thing, let it cool off. And with this tea, I was kind of surprised because that didn't really happen. I mean, right now, it's not bad. I'm still getting a little, like when I taste it, I do not get that hardwood smell, which is kind of good, I guess. And I don't know if I want to taste that. It's nice to smell when I first go in the hardware store, but that's about it. And I do get that grill taste, though, to it. It's got this roasted, definite grill taste to it. Like, and it's not quite wheat. It actually does taste a tiny bit like that grilled corn that I was talking about, but it's very smooth and it goes down pretty easy. There's not that much aftertaste to it either, so this is pretty basic, and it's a little sweet, like a lot of white teas are. It has that sweetness in the aftertaste, like on the back of your tongue after that, but it doesn't really do that much for me, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's not bad, but like I said, it has that grilled roasted flavor to it, but that's about it. And it's got that little hint of corn, but I could be crazy, and you could taste it completely different than me. That's how it happens with some teas, but I think I steeped it exactly the right amount that it should have been steeped, and it's still not providing me with that much flavor. But again, that's kind of what white teas are. And it was kind of funny. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she said she went to a grocery store and they had samples of white tea, and she tried it and she said it wasn't bad, which is amazing because if you've noticed in my other podcast, I mentioned my mom and tea and the same thing, that she doesn't like anything. She doesn't like any tea. She loves chocolate, but she doesn't like chocolate tea or anything like that. And she said she actually would probably have a glass of this white tea because it didn't taste like tea. And I told her that it's because it's so subtle. And she just kind of laughed at me and wanted some more. So maybe I will give this to her to try, because maybe I'll finally find a tea that she likes because she loves the health benefits and all that, but she just can't get behind the taste of it. And as much as that drives me crazy, I guess I can understand how she just doesn't like the tea taste to it, which I guess comes with time and stuff like that. But anyways, it's very subtle, and I guess this would be enjoyable in the morning or something. But in the middle of my day, if I kind of need some pep or something, I go for a more flavorful tea than this. And I guess it's something good to wake up to and stuff like that, or late at night, like 2 a.m. But it certainly doesn't do much for the palate taste-wise, which I guess could be from a number of reasons. But Sowmee White isn't as flavorful as I hoped it would be. It smells a lot better than it tastes, and I would drink it, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't be a staple tea. But I did enjoy it. I don't want to say it was horrible, but it's definitely not one of my top 10, if that's what you're asking. But so yeah, so this is Sowmee White by Travel Tea Company. Not one of my favorites, but still still all right. And if you want to try it for yourself, feel free to order some. Or if you care to disagree with me and think it's a lot better, you can email me at tcastfans@gmail.com. You can go on Twitter, and we're twitter.com/tcast, so you can argue with me there or whatever. Or if you if you agree with me and think it's great or think it's not great or whatever, you can let me know there. And I love to hear your feedback, and if you can make this tea a lot better for me, that would be fantastic. But it's good for what you want. If you just want the health benefits or whatever, it doesn't have much taste to it, so you can get away with that. But so I hope you enjoyed this episode, and like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Hope you enjoy the show.